Welcome back to the Lone Star Ladies, where we talk about Denton County grassroots Republican politics.
I'm Sherry Rose, Precinct Chair for 2091 in Plano.
Darlene Howe, Precinct Chair 2098, Carrollton.
And Brandy Kennedy, 2097 in Carrollton. Today we're going to be going over the election results, but Sherry's going to bring us what's coming up first.
So grab your calendar because we got lots of stuff going on. The precinct chair and candidate filing runs through December the 8th at the Denton County GOP office. Monday, November 17th, Woody Huffines kicks off his campaign for the Collin County Commissioner position. It's at Taverna Rosa at Lakeside from 6:30 to 8:30. On Tuesday, November 18th, from 8 to 9 a.m., Coffee with the Colonel. Larry Brock is running against Jared Patterson for House District 106. He will be at 6 Sips Coffee House in Prosper, so I hope you'll come out for that. Also, on Wednesday, November 19th, the Collin County Conservative Republicans will hold their second annual food drive for Minnie's Pantry in conjunction with the African American Republican Club. That will be from 6:30 to 9:30 at Katy Trail Outpost in Plano, so come on out and bring your canned goods. Thursday, November 20th, from 9:30 to 10:30 at the Denton GOP office, we will have 4 House reps there. Mitch Little, Andy Hopper, Richard Hayes, and Ben Baumgartner. So please come out and see that. Monday, November 24th, from 6 to 8 p.m., Doc Chambers is doing an event in Plano. You will need to go to his website at docchambers.org to find the location. Tuesday, November 2nd, our GOP chair, Melinda Preston, is kicking off her campaign for re-election. It will be at the Sullivan's Old Town Barbecue in Louisville. So come out and support her, 6 to 7:30. Thursday, December 4th, Judge Alan Wheeler is holding his campaign kickoff from 6 to 8 at Steve's Wine Bar in Denton. And last but not least is the biggest event of the year for the Denton County Republican Party.
Yes.
The Lincoln Reagan dinner is going to be at the Hyatt DFW. If you want to purchase tickets or make a donation, you can go to dentongop.org and find all the information you need. That about wraps it up.
That's a lot, but it'll be fun. We're going to get into the election now. So we're going to be talking about the constitutional amendments and all who came out and voted. So the information here is off of the votedenton.gov website, the top part where it's giving you the for and the against. And then we broke down our precinct numbers, 2091, 2097, and 2098. And these are the totals from our precincts. So, for instance, Proposition number 1 was about the fund for the Texas Technical College System, starting with about $850 million. So this one passed. Actually, all of them passed. So in Denton County, there's about 600 plus registered voters. And this number was from 2022, so it might be higher now because a lot of people are moving in here. So there's about 600,000 plus registered voters in Denton County, and about 110 plus thousand voted in the Texas Constitutional Amendment election. There was also a special election for LISD on the ballot, and a couple others as well. We know basically ours, so that's what we're talking about.
But this is pretty indicative of the way all the precincts voted.
Yes. Yes. And so you're talking about at the max, I think it was like 18% of a precinct, or maybe the whole of Denton County, came to vote in this election. So 18% picked what is now part of the Texas Constitution.
Yeah, it's just amazing, really. It's very sad.
That's 18% of the voters.
18% of the
Yeah.
Texas voters
Yes.
approved 17 constitutional amendments that will affect each and every one of us.
Yes.
And some of them are not good.
Yeah. I mean, these funds, like this first one, this fund is outside of legislative oversight. And so we don't know exactly what the money is going to do. We heard that the comptroller kind of oversees it, but, we don't know exactly how that works either. So we need to talk to a comptroller
Right.
and get some information from a comptroller or somebody running for comptroller. Maybe we can find out some more information and bring it to you.
And that's true for the dementia fund, the water fund. There were several funds that we are pouring millions and sometimes billions of dollars into.
Yes.
For a long period of time.
And we've got a lot more to go over. So stay with us because I know these are numbers, and stay with it. We're going to go over the school boards too.
So there, I think it's amendment number 16. I'm going to just, this is again, all of this information is the same for basically every single amendment. They all passed, so you don't have to go and look to see if they did. They did, all of them did. Number 16 was you must be a U.S. citizen to vote. That passed. Good job. So there are some good ones that passed that we actually do like. So remember, just to go out and vote in every election because we need every vote we can get. We don't want just 18% of our people telling us what's going to happen,
This is just an interesting little fact here I will mention. Since the inception of our Constitution, which was in 1876, there have been a total of 714 proposed amendments. Think about that. Just think about that for a minute. That's ridiculous. Of those amendments, 530 were approved. That is a 75% approval rate. So, I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff should be legislated in Austin, not necessarily put on a ballot, because once it's put on the ballot and becomes a constitutional amendment, it becomes very difficult to change.
Yeah, and these all started as either Senate bills or House bills. I think it's bills or resolutions. And because they didn't get passed, they were like, okay, well, let's give it to the voter.
Let's just
And
throw
so,
it out there.
yeah, let's just throw it out there and see what sticks, So it needs to be legislated. That's what we voted them in there for, right?
Yes,
So we need to get them to vote on these things and not just put it on a constitutional amendment.
Right.
We also had an LISD race. I'm going to move us back over here. We had an LISD race with Madison Lopez and Michelle Akhatib. And I don't know if I said that right, but I'm sorry if I didn't. In this race, most consistently we're using Sherry's precinct as an example. 830 people voted for each amendment. In her precinct, 655 voted on the LISD race. So that's something we need to get more information out there so that you go all the way down ballot.
Yes, and in this Louisville Independent School District race, it was a special election race for place 6. And a board member had resigned. The candidates in the race only had 6 or 7 weeks to campaign, and we didn't even know about it. But Madison Lopez won against Michelle Alcatid. I hope I said that right.
I know.
Who is currently on the Louisville Independent School Board, and she sits on the board until spring of 2026. Then the redistricting goes into effect. It's a little confusing with this redistricting. Michelle seat remains place 6 until it changes in the spring. Madison Lopez's seat, which is the new candidate that won, will be called at-large place 6 with the new redistricting. In the spring of 2026, place 6 and 7 will be up for re-election again. And then with the redistricting, the boundaries are going to change in LISD. The redistricting made it real confusing, and we will give you an update when we learn more. We need to learn more about this.
It's very confusing.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited about Madison. She's young and lots of energy, and I think she's going to bring a lot to that school board.
Yes, and you can go to the LISD website and look at the maps, the new boundaries for 2026. So in closing, both are on the LISD board now,
which is confusing.
I mean, you ran against her, but you're still on there.
Can't make this stuff
yeah,
up.
and Michelle's going to have to rerun due to redistricting, and Madison Lopez, her seat is up in 2027 because it was a special election, and normally these seats last for 3 years. So this was interesting.
Yeah, definitely an interesting race.
Yeah.
I also wanted to bring up in Denton ISD. So this is just Denton ISD, not the entirety of Denton County. There was a proposition on the ballot that was a tax increase, a permanent tax increase. And it said it on the ballot, and they voted for this.
It's crazy. I mean, you just can't make. I don't understand it.
I don't know. I would never vote for a permanent tax increase, but I don't know if there wasn't enough information out there about this, but this is something, that's why we're here. We want to get you guys all the information we can so that we're voting how we want to.
Right. Right. You have to study
Yeah.
before you go to the polls and ask people like Sherry and Brandy and me.
Yes, absolutely. So now we're going to get into a couple races that are not in Texas. So we have the New York City mayor race. Now, 2+ million votes or ballots were cast out of 5+ million registered voters. So that's 39%, maybe almost 40% of New York City, the 5 boroughs, I guess, that voted for Kami Mandami. And I don't know if I said it right, but he's a communist.
Well, clearly they must not have liked any of their options because so many of them just decided to stay home or watch the football game or I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. I mean, you can see in this little map below, the blue part is Mondami, and the little dark gray part is Cuomo. So you either had Cuomo or Mandami.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
both kind of bad.
And over 1 million Republicans moved out of the state.
Right.
And that affected the vote.
Yeah, crazy. So a little interesting fact here I found was that during the evening when it was coming out that Kami Mamdami was going to win,
We like that name.
The Houston Police Department, who are in desperate need of more officers, started posting on social media that they would be happy to take any New York City officer that wanted to move down there because, Mondami's been very negative about the
Good.
police force.
Yeah.
So not only were they, putting out on social media to come down there and get a job, but they were also telling them where they could go to get New York style pizza and sandwiches and all that deli and all that stuff. So it's kind of interesting little side
Yeah.
note.
We're going to have to look up the Houston Police Department and see how many have
Yeah.
transferred down here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, we'll keep you updated if we find out.
Exactly.
We also have the New Jersey governor race. So 6.5 million registered voters, 3.2 million voted. So about 50% voted in this race. And you can see in the map here, and this is all from the specific states' websites. The blue and red, we know what blue and red means. So this is another one that, 50% of people are telling you how to live your life.
Yeah. And so the governor's race in
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey and Virginia, the Republicans, they fought hard. But it didn't go their way, and they lost. In New Jersey, the gubernatorial election, the Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli won more votes this time for the bid for governor in his second run. But the Democrat, Mike Sherrill, received more Democrat votes in this election. 50% of the voters turned out, and Democrat Mike Sherrill had strength with women. Yeah, you got a lot of the women vote, and it was around 56 to 43. And this is why we do this podcast, is to educate voters. And, please continue to watch us, and we'll give you more information on how to be a conservative and stand for American values. In the Virginia gubernatorial election, the Republican candidate Winsome Sears won the lowest percentage of any Virginia Republican candidate for governor since 1965. So I guess people are moving out of there also.
Also, she was not an ideal candidate from what, the news sources and podcasts are kind of telling us that,
Yeah.
she was kind of a never Trumper at a certain time. So,
Yeah.
Republicans have very long memories.
Yes.
So they're
Yes,
not
they
going to
do.
forget that.
Yeah.
And, I think, that kind of hindered her too. So, we need to keep educating. That's all we can do.
We need to get
Yeah.
the best candidates we can find, and then we need to support them.
Yes.
Yes.
So then we also have the Minneapolis mayor race. So 147,000 ballots cast out of 267,000 registered voters. About 55% of the voters turned out. So this race, I'm not going to say his name right, so I'm going to say his last name. So Omar was represented fully by Elon Omar. So he had a ton of backing. I mean, they were out everywhere in Minneapolis to get him elected. But Jacob Fry, I don't know how to say his last name, he did win. But again, only 55% came out to vote for this race. And we just, we need more people out to vote in these off-year elections. Then we have the Virginia AG race. So 6 million plus registered voters, 3 million plus voted. So 53% is
Of the total.
came out to vote. Now these people, Jay Jones, he in text messages said that he wanted his opposition people, Republican, anybody that disagreed with him, basically dead, and wanted their children dead, wants to see their children die in their laps. That's what he said.
It's bad enough to say that you want your opponent to be gone from the face of the earth, but to also say their children?
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of a person says that?
And then he came out and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't really mean what I said."
Yeah.
But yet we still have, 50% of the voters that went out and voted for him. I think he won by 52%. So, it's we need to take people at their words. If they're saying it, believe them.
Yeah, I agree.
And Darlene is going to tell us about a website that she found.
Yes, it's millionvoices.org, and they interview candidates and give a questionnaire, and I found this quite interesting. I picked the Virginia governor's race, and one of the questions was, babies born alive require medical care for babies who survive abortion. And of course our Republican candidate, Winsome Shears, agreed with us.
Right.
And the Democrat governor candidate did not. So it's very sad, very, very sad out there.
Yeah.
It's very informative. I mean, you can see the list of questions here and what they agree and disagree with. So it is very informative.
Yes, and you can go to Texas, and whenever there's an election, you can look up how your candidates believe.
Yeah, we got these for Trump and Biden, or
Yeah,
not Biden,
yeah,
Harris.
Harris, and we did it for
Ted Cruz.
we used it for Ted Cruz.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so, this is just a reminder, we need everybody to go out and vote. And, we're going to try to provide as much information as we can for upcoming elections and candidates, because 2026 is going to be a very busy year.
Yes, and if you can't get a hold of us for some reason, you can always call the Denton GOP office. They have lots of people there that can answer questions also.
Yeah. So remember, you can follow us on OBBM, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, X, and Substack.
And questions, comments, ideas for new podcasts, we are at the Lone Star Ladies at myyahoo.com. Thank you for joining us.
And God bless you.
And yeehaw!